Hi there, Amber here from LoveFit, and it is week 35 of my Healthy Happy Pregnancy series. So today is a very short video. I just wanted to go through a little pelvic mobility routine. Now that we're really in what's considered the last month of pregnancy, obviously I've shown you mobility routines in the past, but this is now really focusing on pelvic mobility, and I would strongly urge you, if you're not already, to do this every day. So it's worth glancing back to, I think, week 31, where I showed you good positions for sitting in, to avoid sitting in that bucket position, that kind of position like this where you're slouched back on the sofa, to open up the hips and open the pelvis, keep, tilt the baby forwards. But also these pelvic mobility routines are great for relieving any lower back pain if you've got that. I've actually, at 35 weeks, finally got, a niggle of pregnancy. My husband was laughing at me because I said, I'm just starting to feel a little bit pregnant. And he said, well, at 35 weeks, Amber, I think that's okay. So if you have got any back pain, but even if you haven't, just to free up the pelvis is a really good idea. So I'm just going to show you a little snippet of a pelvic mobility routine. There is a lot more that you can and should do, but as with all these videos, I'm just giving you a highlight, and if you want to get the full repertoire, then come and work with us. Give me a shout, even if you're distant, or come along to one of our classes or work with us one-to-one. So, starting off, just standing with your body nice and relaxed, your feet planted into the ground, and you're going to do feet about hip width apart, and then I want you to just press the hips from side to side. So I'm kind of working through my feet. If you can see, I'm kind of stepping through the feet. It's almost like you are doing a little Latin American dance. Maybe this isn't exactly how a Latin American dance would look, but you're just gently pushing the hips from side to side, just letting the hips sway here. And it's just a very slow, gentle move, okay? It's a little hip steps, hip push. So really pushing the hips side to side. You should be able to see that my hips are moving there. Okay, then from there we're going to come into a figure eight. So some people struggle with coordination on this. It doesn't really matter. But I'm keeping my knees soft, just resting my fingertips on my hips, and just gently working the hips around, pushing one hip forward, then the other hip forward. And again, this is just lovely. It really frees up that lower back. So just doing a few of these. Often people ask me, how long should you do this for? How many reps? How many seconds? There is no right answer. It's just whatever feels good. If you're stiff anywhere, then do it until it feels looser. If you're not feeling too bad, then just 10-15 seconds just to mobilise. I like to spend a good 5 minutes at least, if not longer, every day just doing some of these. Okay, then I'm going to come to the floor and show you some you can do from a kneeling position. Now, if you have very sore wrists, if you have any carpal tunnel syndrome, you can actually drop down onto your forearms instead. And if that feels too low, you can just raise yourself up on some cushions or some yoga blocks if you have them, so that you're in that position. But otherwise, if you feel good, you're going to come to your hands, press your fingers into the floor, feet are just resting behind you, and I'm going to get you to do one where you look at your bum. So you're literally turning your head towards your hips. So I'm pushing my left hip now as I turn my head to the left. Then I'm pushing my head to the right as I turn my head to the right. And you might see that better front on. So I'm just twisting here. So again, it's just like a little hip sway, nice and slow. And again, that's just great for moving the pelvis. And then the final one I'm going to show you today is just some lovely big hip circles from an all fours position. And again, if you've got that carpal tunnel syndrome, if being here for any length of time is too much, come and do this on your knees. But you're going to come back to this kind of tabletop position, and then you're just going to rotate your hips. And you can start quite small and then just make it bigger. So I'm actually going to come right back, and because 35 weeks plus, your bump is going to be a reasonable size. You can take your feet wider if that helps. And again, I'm going to show you the sideways view, and I'm going to take my circle the other way. But having got quite big, I'm going to go big the other way, really pushing back there, continuing to breathe as I do this. So you can see I'm working forwards and back, really making that big circle, and then just bringing it back in to kind of more of a little small hip circle, and then relaxing there. Okay, so I'm just showing you those few though, the little side hip pushes, figure of 8, then coming on to all fours, doing the tail, looking at your tail end, and then those lovely big hip circles. And as I say, there's just a few things, but they will help. So if you do them, that's just going to get your pelvis moving. Definitely try and do them every day for a few minutes. And yeah, keep yourself really mobile. Okay, I look forward to seeing you next week when I'll show you a full birth prep routine. Okay, see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.